Here's a quick update on the XJ-S. A lot's happened since my last video, and so I thought it was about time to bring you up to speed. You can see I've been busy with the spray gun. So these parts have all had etch primer, grey primer, three coats of that, and then 2 coats of Frost's gloss chassis black applied. So the last black went on today. They're ready. There's more of them down here. Big suspension cage all sorted out. We've got the wishbones and the radius arms. So I'm very pleased with that. That's gone very well. It's nice that this diff is now properly painted. It was an absolute shambles from the factory. There's runs all over the place. I don't think it was really particularly painted very well anyway. So anyway, that's sorted. I did make one schoolboy error by forgetting to paint the bottom plate. That was underneath a load of stuff, so I've brushed the etch primer on it. I will then brush the grey primer on, rub it back, and put the black. I'll spray the black chassis black on it. And if there are any bits that I've missed here, I've got 7 days until it's too late to touch them in, so I'll have a good look at those when they're all completely dry. There's my spray gun all taken apart and cleaned. And whilst I'm waiting for some decent weather to do the spraying, I've been gradually amassing all the parts I need to rebuild the car, which you can see laid out on the bench here. So we've got V-mounts, subframe, we've got felt seals for the outer fulcrum bearings, we've got rubber seals for the inner fulcrum bearings, some spare screws. I managed to repair the threads. Where are we? On here. So the little screw goes in there, so I've got screws for that now. That will be fine. There's another one that goes in there to hold the ABS sensors on. Also replaced these bolts or set screws, as Jaguar would call them, to hold the ABS sensors on, so that will look all shiny and lovely. I need to wash these bearings out with some thinners, which I've also bought. Make sure they're all clean and tidy. Same with their masked off at the moment, but the ones in these wishbones as well. Needle bearings in there. I've had my local garage replace the bearings, the bushes in these radius arms. So they all look pretty good now. Correctly applied with the holes going up and down the length of the radius arm, which is great. So 4 new bushes there. What else have we got? You've seen the rebuilt brake calipers and handbrake pads. I had a scare story about some really cheap handbrake pads that just came apart the first time they were used, and these are reasonably cheap ones, so I might buy some more expensive original Jaguar ones, because they're a real pain to put back in if you put it all together and then they fail on you. That's really the last thing you want to happen. I didn't buy new exhaust mounts. I didn't really see any point. These seem fine. They're not really going to alter the handling of the car. I've got a new fulcrum shaft here, which, thanks to XJ-S OCD, the channel on YouTube. Excuse me, it's quite fuming here. I'm going to take an angle grinder to this and cut it into 4 pieces so I can use it for reassembly. Jaguar specify a particular special tool for doing that, but he just said cut this into 4 pieces and then you can assemble this gubbins here, which is all the oil seals, the fulcrum shaft, thrust washers and all sorts in there. So that will be fun and games. That's the outer fulcrum bearings and things in there. So I've got new felt seals. These ones will not get reused. They're pretty knackered and manky anyway. Let's get one out. Yeah, that's seen better days. So yeah, new ones of those will be going on. I need to clean that lot up actually. That's one of the few things I've not actually cleaned up. Here are all of the zinc plated items. I'm very pleased with those. I think I probably put them in a previous video, so no need to waste any time with those. New clamps for the covers, the semicircular covers that cover the universal joints. Let's see if I can get the hair. Yeah, there we go. The universal joint covers were originally pop riveted, which I don't want to do again. and in replacing the BMW's wheel arch shield, I think in the previous video you saw in the XK8 video you saw I managed to prang the BMW, so I bought some more of these. And so I've drilled the holes out in these shields to 5mm, and I've ordered some more of these plugs, and they'll keep those in place. So new Jubilee clips and new plugs for those, new Brembo brake discs, a pair of those, it's nice to see. I need to measure, I'm assuming that this has been thought about by Brembo and Jaguar, that I need to make sure that this thickness is the same as the ones that came off, because there are shims either side of this, and that obviously alters the suspension geometry, so I need to measure that, and then I have to buy more shims if they're substantially, well, if they're at all different. So we'll see about that. That's still an unknown in this rebuild. Box of dampers, great, ready to go back. Got some sealant for my diff. I did a bit of reading up, and this seemed to be the best product for sealing the diff. So there's no paper gasket in these differentials, from what I've read anyway, and so you need to use a liquid gasket. So that's the one. Set of new bolts for the diff back plate, just to make it look all lovely and new. There's nothing really wrong with the ones on there now, but just a couple of quid. New drop links, which will make a nice big difference to the suspension. Quite a lot of lock wire. I should probably have bought a roll of that rather than keep buying it by the meter, but never mind, who cares. And I think that's about it, really. Oh, and also, as part of this rebuild, I've got a new throttle position sensor, hopefully to cure the problems I've had with the engine cutting out and losing all power. Another thing which is advisable for anyone with an XJ-S is to buy a new cooling fan if you're still running the original yellow one. This hopefully will not shatter and take out my radiator and bonnet with it. It would be great if it didn't. So there we go. That is the update for now. Quite pleased with the spraying job. It's the first time I've actually ever used a compressor-based spray gun. And there is the odd run here and there. You can probably see one just there, which is offensive to the eye. But I don't think anyone's really going to be looking that closely at it. And I'm quite pleased with the job I've done. It's taken absolutely ages, so it's worth putting the time in, I think. You can still see the anti-roll bar is a bit crusty where it was originally very rusted, but it's all been rust-proofed, and hopefully will be okay for many years to come. So there we go. That is the latest from the XJ-S. Still looks very bare under there. Oh, the only other thing I've not told you about is I've got some new exhaust silencers coming from Simply Performance. They haven't arrived yet, so these ones down here will not get reused. The tips will. I'll polish those up and remove them. Have the original looking chrome, stainless probably, tips at the back of the car. I've also bought new pipes that go through the suspension cage. New stainless ones again from Simply Performance, so they'll be arriving this coming week. And that is, I think, the final part, or the final parts required to put it all back together again. So I will see you again, probably halfway through putting it all back together again, and I'm sure I'll have fun and games to report at that stage. Alright, thanks for watching. Cheers for now.